You're listening to
the Audacity.
Hey, we're back. We're back with more Audacity.
The Audacity.
We're the Audacity, and we've got some great clips for you today. Happy Passover, everybody.
Yeah, happy Passover.
I don't know if that's problematic to say to some people.
Not to be political.
Not to be political, but happy Passover.
Are you keeping it?
Yeah, I'm keeping it.
You keep it. You're not eating bread.
Yeah, I'm not eating bread. I'm like, just,
Is that different from how you normally eat?
No, I don't eat that much bread, but I am like putting the blood on my like my doorposts and stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Let's do a clip too.
So most of society thinks that humans need around 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night, right? Like that's like a healthy amount. Not true. The study that makes us all think that was actually only conducted on men, not women. So they recently did a new study that was also conducted on women, and research has shown that women need 10 hours of sleep with an extra 1 hour of sleep per night when they're menstruating. So therefore, I cannot be held responsible for the things that I do when I'm on 4 hours of sleep. Thank you.
Wow, that was deep.
Yeah, let women sleep.
Did you? Yeah, leave me alone.
Stop poking me with that dick. I need 10 hours.
I know. I have an alarm clock for that.
I don't know. I'm always like so anxious. I can't sleep 10 hours. I'm like
10 hours. Who had the day's over? Then
The
you wake up
day's-
and the day's done. I guess that's what. Then women's job is to sleep and look hot.
literally.
And then men can sleep less so they can go out and
To
work
war.
and be at war.
Exactly.
Doesn't that make sense?
Biologically.
But God made our bodies so that we needed so much more rest. So that we couldn't, so
Right.
that just, he was like, war's not for you. Go to sleep.
Well, we're in an internal war. Our body is constantly either like preparing for a baby or not. Like, especially when you're in your menstrual, you're pregnant. Your menstrual years. Your body is either preparing to get ready for a baby or just coming off of the process of getting. I mean, it's. You think about a woman's body, all the hormones going on, all that's going on. Like,
No, you're a hostage to your body.
like literally, That's a lot of work to always be preparing for pregnancy or.
No, your life, you can care about other stuff, but biologically, your life is your vagina. It is that.
I know.
I know it's not feminist to say. I know you're not supposed to say it, but that everything is more or less genital in life.
What do they say? Everything's about sex except sex. It's about power. Do you ever hear that quote?
Wow, but sex for me is about feeling pretty.
Validation.
I guess that's power.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, you asked the Beatles. They asked the Beatles, how did you get into music? They're like, girls. Like literally everybody. It's not just women. It's men and women. We're all just trying to get laid at the end of the day. Everything we do is we're just trying to get laid. No?
Yeah, but I think everything that a man does, everything is to attract a partner. Yes, you're totally right. Except stand-up comedy for girls.
For girls, right.
It drives them away.
Yeah, but you think you're like one of the guys. You're like, oh, I'm like, hang on.
That's not hot.
Maybe
Is that hot to people?
It makes you interesting.
It definitely
makes
does
you
that.
like you're in the dating pool. Everybody watches The Office and goes to happy hour, but you do the stand up. Oh, the girl goes to stand up comedy.
No, that's
interesting.
cool. It's interesting, but at the end of the day, this is the lie. Is like that does not actually. We like it. We're like, this is so cool, and it is so cool, and it's fun. But does that make you hot to people? No. Feminism lied to us, and guys in general don't see a woman who's like on stage. This isn't like a knock at guys being like they hate opinionated women. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the act of being on stage is and holding court is masculine.
Yeah, I also think it depends what you're talking about. I think if you're upstage talking about like your pussy and like this and that, like
I would never.
no, I do. I mean, listen, I do it too. I'm just saying some men may not think that's so. A lot of men may not like that.
Andrew, is it hot when girls do comedy? You be honest.
I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends. No, I think like a sense of humor is very attractive, but it depends.
Not a
Like,
sense of humor though, like getting on stage and being like, no one can talk except me.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, it
I
could
think it
be,
is fine, but it's
but there's
nature.
red flags. You don't want to be you don't want to be material.
I think it's sorry. I think it
is a
let's
red
say you
flag.
go up on stage and you do impressions. The guys might find that hot. If you're going on stage and you're talking about like the guys you dated and the guys you had sex with, I don't know if men find that as much of. I don't think on average. I'm not saying every guy. On average, I think men find that more of a turnoff than a woman would hear a guy talk about the girls he dated.
Yeah, or maybe it's a turn on, but not in the good way. Maybe they're like, oh, if she's talking about having sex, I could have sex with her. But it's not. I wouldn't wife her up.
Right. I think they think what I've heard men talk about what I've heard men here say about other female comedians. They say, yeah, she's funny, but she's crazy.
Yeah, that's everyone says that.
But then I go,
but girls say that about guy comedians too.
Right. But I go, the person that you're calling crazy, that's her act. She's making money. This woman is a millionaire. Because, I guess, can I say
she's also crazy. Yeah, okay, please.
Can I say her name?
Who?
Well, Nikki Glazer.
Oh, yeah.
She's not going to listen to this. It's fine. But, I
love her.
I love her. And guys I meet, they're like, oh, yeah, she's so funny. He's like, I've had multiple guys tell me the same thing. They're like, she's single because she's crazy. I'm like, she's not. That's her act. Her act is to talk about date. That's how she got to where she is.
You think people are threatened? Guys can be threatened by a woman getting rich off of being like super outspoken.
Yeah, but I also think her talking about her dating experience as they go.
Like it's too open.
Yeah, it's just like not. Yeah, there's no mystery.
That's my whole set. My whole set is like my dating
but you
life.
Date a lot. Guys like you.
I don't date that much. I get into long relationships, but that's like what I talk about.
You
I don't
haven't
know if
had
people
problems.
think it's appealing or not. I didn't think I did, but if history is any indication, then maybe looking back, hindsight being what it is, maybe that wasn't the best choice of correct. Like, listen, no regrets, whatever. This is my life. But maybe being a comic, if I wanted to be like a wife and mom, wasn't the fast track to that.
No, I mean it's not.
Like maybe that's
guys aren't lining
opposite.
up. Guys aren't lining up for a.
That's what I'm saying. They're not.
I mean, do it because you love. That's the thing. You do it because you love it. They may not associate you with being a great mom if you.
That's it though. But then what's important really? Is telling dick jokes on stage important, or is having a family someday and having like a stable life and fulfilling your vagina destiny, is that more important?
It depends who you are.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on what kind of guy you like. If you like a traditional man, he might not like that. I think if you like a more beta male, I'm not trying to be rude, but like if you like a non-traditional guy, like some women are attracted to some women are not attracted to alpha men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a trauma. That's like something's wrong with them.
I think if you're
I think it's a trauma response.
No, I think, what I think it is? I think it's an opposite energy. If you're an alpha woman, like a very alpha masculine woman, you're going to be attracted to more beta guy.
But are those relationships going to last? Whereas if you're an alpha woman, do you need a really alpha guy to be able to match your energy?
I think that alpha and beta and feminine and masculine isn't about gender. It's about you. Like, I think there's some women that are more masculine.
There are definitely.
And there's some men that are more feminine.
But there's also, like, for example, there's women who are more muscular, and sometimes they'll attract, like, instead of a guy, like a skinny guy, the guys who are into that are like huge. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the big muscle guys were like, finally a girl who's like, compared to me, she's small and petite, right, but like she's a strong woman that I like attracts like.
I guess I don't know. I really think the best relationships are when there's a balance of masculine and feminine. And I don't think masculine and feminine energy is about gender. I think there's some men that are just more feminine, and there's some women that are just more masculine. I can name. I'm not going to name on the podcast, but I can use some girls. They're just more masculine girls. They're not ever. They're masculine women. Mm-hmm. They have more alpha.
They're handsome.
They're just. And I see them with guys. They're just a little more beta, but I think that works.
Beta in personality or like in stature or both?
Like, look, maybe they might be attractive, but like their demeanor is more beta. Maybe they're not
more gentlemen.
They're more feminine, the men. But I think those are the longest lasting relationships. I think you have to know yourself. If you were a more masculine woman, a more alpha woman.
Who have you dated? Like I've dated really alpha guys, masculine guys.
The guys I've dated I've dated one guy that was a little more beta. And it didn't work out. Well, none of them, I guess, really worked out. At the end of the day, but I attract I think my dating history is I attract alpha men, but they may get to know me and realize there's more alpha in me than they realize. Then I lead on, and they go, "Oh, you're like." You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, then you're like, you're like me.
Yeah, or like you're not as feminine as like. Not, I don't mean that bad or good. And again, it's not gender; it's energy.
Yeah, but I do think it's like I do think that there's some gender in it. Like
There is some.
overwhelmingly, the guys that I know for the most part are more masculine than the women that I know.
Yeah, but there are men that just have more feminine energy.
That's true.
Like the guys, like the artsy guys. Like I'm not trying to be rude. There's nothing wrong
No,
with
it's okay.
this.
I live in Brooklyn. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're just more feminine energy men. They're just
I know,
more
but
like
I can't. I know, but they roll their jeans up and they're
Yeah.
skinny and they button their buttons all the way up. It's hard for me.
and they may be attracted to more feminine women, but I don't know if that works out. I think it works out when there's a balance of masculine and feminine energy. I think. I mean, what do I know? But
I mean, I dated someone who looked so masculine, but then was very feminine in other ways, like that were genitally oriented.
he liked more female.
And it was kind of hot. Yeah, it was kind of hot. What can I say? It's not like I didn't think like to myself, I want to attract a guy that is like looks like Gaston, but then, you know, he likes
Axe throwing and like
but yeah, but he also liked like being like more submissive
okay.
in other ways.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was kind of appealing. Whereas if he had been like a more gentle, like more beta presenting guy, I don't know that would have been hot to me in that way.
Yeah.
You know, because it was, I'd be like, well, I'm not, you know.
Yeah. You want
It's
more
not like a
masculine.
contrast. Like I want, that's like, it's like the punchline. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
He's actually this other thing.
Right. It was like a twist. It was like, oh, you have
It was
this like
surprise
feminine.
ending.
You have like this feminine side to you. Like, at the end of the day, we all have masculine and feminine parts of us, right? We have a yin and yang in us,
That's true.
but it's like how much yin and yang do you have? Like, are you like 80% like more masculine, or 20% feminine? Or
We
you
got the light.
Oh fuck! Oh god! What are we talking? All right, next clip.
Next clip.
We'll edit some of that out. Okay.
What's something in your life you still can't believe happened?
The airplane crash.
Say more. You were in a crash?
No, I fell in love with a man and couldn't have him because I was married. 3 years later, I got a telephone call. This is Cabin Airlines. Your husband just died in a crash. And so I was able to marry my beloved 3 months later.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that a dream?
That's
What's
literally.
something in your life you still can't?
So this woman, what she was in love with this
She
guy.
was married, but she was in love with another guy, and then her husband was in a plane crash. So God flicked away her husband so that she could be with her true love. Isn't that beautiful?
That is the cheapest divorce I've ever heard of. I mean, it cost the plane ticket, but
Isn't that a heartwarming story?
yeah. I mean, I hope she doesn't have children. They're like, okay, that's like our dad. Okay? Glad that you got something out of it, but we like are still traumatized from missing our dad.
I think she's a hero. She turned that frown upside down,
made-
really quick.
She made lemons out of lemonade or whatever.
Yeah, God gave her a lemon, and then the lemon died in a plane crash.
Well, that's the thing. And this is going to sound so morbid. Like we think like, oh my God, these women, their men are going off to war, but some of the men might be assholes. And they're like, no, good. Like, I hope that guy's a piece of shit. Or there's an attack. There's a terrorist attack.
Right.
And everyone's like, oh, you lost your husband. She's like, thank God.
It's so bleak. It's so morbid. Listen, I hear you that sometimes God causes certain plane malfunctions because of the dating life of someone else.
Right.
Because God does hear when you speak to God, his ears open.
Can I tell you a story I think about a lot? So John Lennon was a piece of shit. I don't know if you know about John
I
Lennon.
didn't know that.
He was his first wife, he had a baby with Hey Jude. Totally like disregarded his son. Like even like Yoko Ono tried to get the son out of the. I mean, John
Jude
Lennon
was the son or Jude was the wife?
Jude was the sons.
we have to wrap it up.
Okay. One last point I'm going to make. So when he got shot, I bet his ex-wife was like so happy. She's like, yeah, he's an asshole. Like he was like John Lennon, like is not a nice person, like big jerk.
So God saw this.
I know, but you think, oh my God,
But
like,
they were already divorced, right?
oh yeah.
So
I
it was
mean,
just like a little.
and he totally did not. He abandoned the fam. I mean, he was a piece of shit. This guy.
So God was
Yoko
like, I
Ono
got
was
you,
also
girl.
a piece of shit. They were discussing people, peace loving, but asshole like today. You know. Anyway, but when he got shot, I remember that when I was watching the documentary, I'm like, his wife must have been like, hey, you fucking son of a bitch.
It only took 40 years.
Yeah, you fucking. And everyone's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It's like, no, he was a
She's
piece
like,
of
I'm
shit.
fine.
He's a piece of shit. That guy. He totally like disregarded my son. He totally,
And now the story comes out.
Yeah, he's an anyway. All right, that's the show.
That's
the show.
We have more. Yay! Good job. Okay, go. Don't forget to leave us a comment. Tell us what you think of us personally, and everything that we just said. And we're gonna see you again next week.
Next week.